When everything is special, nothing is special. So how do you decide what is special enough to keep and what needs to clear out so that you can have a clean, peaceful, and decluttered home? Every organizer, minimalist, and decluttering aficionado has their own set of questions that they prefer to use when they are deciding whether or not to declutter something. We can go from one question, does it spark joy, anyone, to a giant list of questions. There's no one right or wrong way to ask questions as you are decluttering. You just have to find what works for you and your space and your personality. As I talked about in my channel introduction video, which I will link, I am still responsible for clearing out two very overfull estates, my mother's and my grandmother's. There are still many boxes in my basement that I am going through trying to decide if I'm going to keep the item or trash it, donate it, sell it, otherwise get it out of my house. Today I'm sharing the 3 questions I use when I am decluttering to decide whether I'm going to keep an item or get rid of it. Question number 1, do I use it? And not just do I use it now, because if I'm decluttering in January, I'm not using my garden trowel. But about a 6-month look back, have I used it in the last 6 months? Am I going to use it in the next 6 months? But if it's I'm going to use it someday, or if I'm keeping it just in case, then I'm not really using it, and that item needs to go. Question number 2. What would I use if I didn't have this item? This question comes to us from Joshua Becker, and it's one of my favorite decluttering questions. If you can answer that question quickly, then you don't need the item. It does a good job of catching duplicates. Exactly how many flathead screwdrivers do you need? It also catches some of those one-trick ponies that really love to live in our kitchen, like the as seen on TV things that could probably be replaced with one good kitchen knife. But it also catches things that you do use, but that you have a lot of alternatives for. We only need so many pitchers, platters, vases, and such. If you've got a whole bunch of alternatives and you can say, I've got this, this, and this I could use instead, that item needs to go. And question number 3, does this item bring a positive value to my life or a negative value to my life? This question comes from my favorite minimalism content creator, Katie Coffer, with How to Be a Minimalist podcast and YouTube channel. Does the item add a positive value to your life? Does it help you fulfill your life's goal or your life's purposes? Does it make you feel good? Does it make you smile when you see it? An example of this in my life are these 2 egg timers that I have. I don't really use egg timers. I don't make soft-boiled eggs that often, and when I do, I can pretty easily use my smartphone or my Google Nest to time them. But one came from my mother's kitchen and one came from my grandmother's kitchen, and they just hold positive memories to me. So I enjoy having them on the windowsill in the kitchen. Or does the item have negative value in your life? Does it remind you of something bad, money wasted or pounds not lost or that jerky ex-boyfriend from college? A lot of the items from my grandmother's estate actually fall in this negative value category. My grandmother was a difficult person. That's a story for a whole other day. So a lot of those items, while they are monetarily valuable or family heirlooms, they don't really bring a positive value to my life, and they kind of remind me of things that weren't so great. So I'm going to get rid of them and give them to somebody who will find positive value from their beauty. While the positive and negative value can help you a lot with sentimental items, you can use this question for non-sentimental items as well. For example, books. I may have purchased a book at a time that I was interested in a particular subject, and I'm no longer interested in that subject. But the book is now taking up space, and every time I see it, I feel kind of guilty, even, but maybe not great emotions over the fact that I bought this book and I never read it. Conversely, there may be some book or article of clothing or knickknack that's not really useful, but it just makes you smile every time you see it. It makes you feel happy. That's a positive value. You want to keep that. I've used those 3 questions to help myself declutter for some time, but when I set out to record this video, I thought I should have 5 questions. So I set out listening to podcasts, looking at YouTube videos, reading blog posts to see what other questions were out there and see if any resonated with me. And I really couldn't find a question 4 and 5 that helped me answer any questions that my 3 questions didn't already help me answer. Now, if you've got a 4 or 5 that you can suggest, why don't you leave it in the comments below to share with me and all of my other viewers. So ultimately, I'm sticking with my 3 questions. I think 3 questions is a nice number. It's not too many, so that I am frozen in question answering decision making for every item I'm trying to declutter. But I also felt like the one question that is so popular right now, does it spark joy? I didn't feel like it was enough for me. I didn't feel like it encompassed all of the things I wanted to consider, but it also still feels very stuff-centric. Like it's still about you finding joy from your things. And one of the things I love about the minimalism and decluttering and organization sphere of people is that it's about finding joy in your experiences and not your things. So I hope my 3 questions are helpful to you. If you've got a question 4 and 5 or 6 and 7 that you want to leave in the comments, I would love to see it. If you would like to follow along on my decluttering journey towards minimalism-ish, make sure that you hit the like and the subscribe and the bell to be reminded or notified of my next videos and to help my channel grow. Until next time, I hope your days are increasingly clutter-free and filled with the people and things that mean the most to you.